Fable, where we try to tell magic fakes from real-world fables. I'm your host, Cam, and joining me we have Trent.
Hello.
And Rod.
Hello.
I just want to take this time to thank you all for coming and allowing me to do this. So the rules for this game are fairly simple. So each round I will open one pack of Wilds of Eldraine Collector Booster. From that pack, I will set aside one random card, and each of us will comment on the various cards in the pack until we reach the end. Then I will reveal the random card that I set aside, and each player, including myself, will place one of these cards in front of them. Face down and saying if the selected card is based on an existing Fable, or whether or not it is unique to Wizards, as in it's just been designed by them, in which case it'd be a fake. So we'll then go around the table offering our reasoning for why we picked it to be a fake or a Fable. And if fake gets the most votes, then anyone who voted for the fake gets a point. And the same with Fable. After all, if it's not a Fable, if everyone doesn't know what it is. Now, since Wilds of Eldraine has a good, strong theming around food, in lieu of counters, I have decided that points will be distributed as delicious fairy bread. But fear not for those of you playing at home, because you'll get to see the actual tallies on the screen. In the event that there is a tie, then I've also created a few tiebreaker questions that are Fable themed. Now, before we begin, I'd like to thank those of you for playing, for enduring the month or so that we had of spoiler season, as each of our players have been absolutely forbidden from viewing any of the new cards so that we can ensure that we have a fair and balanced game. For those of you watching the stream, feel free to post your guesses in the chat, and we will begin with the very first pack.
Look at us, already packing in the content here. The value content.
And hopefully I don't cut any of the
I was going
cards.
to say, you're definitely going to cut it. Those packs.
Alright. So,
The other thing I didn't check is, do the alternative arts come in English or Japanese?
English.
English. Okay.
Unless you buy the Japanese packs, in which case the Japanese packs have Japanese.
Fair enough.
So what I'll be doing is I'll be removing one of the cards face down, and it will sit here. Then, let's begin with our first look at actual cards from Wilds of Eldraine, because I can tell you it's been tough.
Oh my god, a food token.
I know! So this is unique in that it's not. So the first thing we have is, Leyline of Lightning.
What?
The ley line's got a reprint this
No, that's a new one.
No, Leyline of Lightning is a reprint.
Is there... Oh, no one plays with red one.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
one plays the red one. But we have the beautiful alternate art of the, I forgot what they're called.
Enchantments?
Yeah, they're the enchantment set. Like, before we had the Mystic Archive, and now we've got the Mystic Archive.
The Fables, probably.
Are you trying to say the masterpiece?
No, it's not called a Masterpiece, because Masterpiece was for...
Kaladesh.
Yeah, and then you had the Invocations, which was Amonkhet, and then you had the... Legends and the lands.
There are Enchanting Tales.
Enchanting Tales, that's it.
Petty foil laminates.
Oh yeah, that's the new foiling that they got. It's literally just Pokemon foiling that they had in Jungle, I think? Jungle or Fossil or something like that.
Wow, that old.
Yeah.
Must be an Enchanting Tale.
Back when...
It is.
When
We got another Enchanting Tale. This one's called Polluted Bonds.
Oh.
Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, that player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. I want to play this more now.
Commander Staple.
I was going to say, it just genuinely sounds that you go into a spy thriller movie and you start questioning the main character's masculinity.
Toxic polluted. Okay. Alright.
Polluted.
Our rare is a Scolding Viper in the, what's it called? In the fairy tale book art. if people want to have a look at the cards, by all means. We won't give them.
I want to see that later.
Yeah.
Won't give them to Trent. He just sneezed in his hand.
Ooh.
So Scalding Viper. It's a 1 and a red for an elemental snake. Whenever an opponent casts a spell with mana value 3 or less, Scalding Viper deals 1 damage to that player. Okay. And then, of course, it's got Steam Clean as a sorcery adventure. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand.
I'm just gonna throw this one up a little bit closer to the camera, just so people can see the art. I'm upside down, so I'll do it this way. Yeah.
How's that?
Real professional. This art is actually very reminiscent of the castle from Sleeping Beauty. Like, it's got that very, like, castle in the middle of...
the overgrown forest.
Yeah, of the Briar Forest. The Spike Briar Forest. So that's kind of cool.
So Scalding Viper. And... a Spiteful Hexmage. I must admit, when I first saw that, I thought it said Vampire Hexmage, and I'm like, oh, they reprinted Vampire Hexmage, but no. Spiteful Hexmage.
They heard you wanted it to be reprinted, so they decided not to reprint it, just to be spiteful.
Oh, well played. So when Spiteful Hexmage enters the battlefield, create a cursed roll token attached to target creature you control. So the roll tokens are the new things.
Yeah. I'm just going to throw this one out here as well. Again, upside down. That looks a lot like the living flame spell from Harry Potter, like destroying the room of requirement. Like that very flame serpent destroying the library.
I thought you were going to say it's reminiscent of, what is it, Howl's Moving Castle, the Living Flame.
Calcifer?
Yes, Calcifer. Alright. Moving on, we have Sentinel of Lost Lore, which is an elf knight. Hooray! When Sentinel of Lost Lore enters the battlefield, choose one or more. Choose one or more, oh god. So you can return target card you own in exile that has an adventure to your hand. Trent's rolling his eyes because he already can think of shenanigans. Put target card you don't own in exile that has an adventure on the bottom of its owner's library. So you target someone else's adventure and you put it on the bottom of their library. Or you can target your own. Exile target player's graveyard.
Graveyard hate's never a bad thing.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like it's meshes with the other two, because they're both... It's sort of like, what else do... We need to have 3 modes. What else do we need to do? Graveyard hate, screw it. And we got another Enchanting Tale. This one's Hatching Plans. When Hatching Plans is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, draw 3 cards. It's an enchantment that wants it to die, that wants to be dead.
Enchantment recursion's not really an archetype I'm thinking of, but like the new Commander's Masters.
But she's not in blue though.
Oh, that's a shame. That'd be fun though. Like, I draw 3 cards, and then it becomes a creature, and then I draw 3 cards. Like that.
Yeah, that would actually be cool. But no, she's black, green, white, I think.
Okay.
I can't remember how to pronounce her name, but I keep thinking of it. Keep thinking of her name as Antitheka. Another Enchanting Tales. Would you look at that? Knightly Valor. This actually isn't a bad one. So, enchant creature, when it enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 white knight with vigilance, and enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and vigilance.
Now, is it rescuing things that don't necessarily need rescuing? So, like, you know how we've got
Of course.
Elsa and Anna are quite competent in their own right, and so it's running over to rescue them when they don't need it.
Definitely.
Too soon. Oh, biting political social commentary.
Shrek did it first, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Deconstruction when it becomes the norm.
Yep.
We have a lovely full art, wonderful looking planes here. Look at that plains, isn't it just wonderful? Look how it
very-
shines and the briar and
It's very plain though.
It's almost like.
it's almost like there's a theme running through.
Well, I'm actually a little bit curious because this looks so very close to the art for polluted bonds that I'm sort of like, well, did they not plan out which art pieces were going to be done? Because like.
Oh,
It's almost identical to the art. For
okay.
polluted
But
bonds, so it's like,
I should probably
be a
ask.
swamp?
Going into Wilds of Eldraine, do you have any idea of what happened just before Wilds of Eldraine starts?
Wasn't it much the aftermath of March of Machines?
No, well, it's
Kenrith family died. The
yeah,
funeral.
but what happened was Rankle. So
Teamed up with Torburn.
tagged along with Torvin. Rankle stole a wishing ring off Torben, wished and has a love potion because he fell in love with Araya, the queen of Lochwine.
Okay.
And wanted to use it to get her to fall in love with him, but was about to be besieged by the Phyrexians, and decided it was a good idea that instead he would make the entire plane fall in love with him.
Okay. That seems mildly problematic.
During which time, while everyone was in love with him, a sleep spell was cast, and the entire plane fell into a deep slumber.
Okay.
So going into Wilds of Eldraine, what's happened is that basically the sleep spell from Sleeping Beauty has taken over, which is why there's a lot of briar. At least that's my understanding. Again, in order to prepare for this, I only know the story up until Aftermath, and I've tried to stay away. But so we've got Succumb to Cold, which is an instant, and tap 1 or 2 creatures an opponent controls and put a stun counter on each of them.
Stun counters back?
I like the idea that stun counters exist.
I think stun counters nowadays are evergreen.
Yeah, because they were introduced as being evergreen, but they weren't sure about whether or not to have them as counters. And I like the idea that they're back. Stun counters they make sense.
They're good for drafts.
Well, the main thing for stun counters is that it's better tracking. Because rather than saying it doesn't untap during the next untap during its next untap, it just says put a stun counter on it. Cool. Then you remove the stun counter. Yeah. It's just easier tracking, I think.
Well, it also gives tempo players a few more options in that, like, there's a lot
to proliferate.
Well, I mean, yes, but also untap's not an uncommon mechanic. And so, like, oh, it doesn't untap, and I play something and it untaps. This at least still costs you resources to untap it because you still have to remove the stun counter, even if it's like I just use that the mechanical effect to untap it on my turn. I still have to spend something to do it.
Yes, I mean, it also gets around the whole thing where it's like it doesn't untap during its untap step. So if you have a card where it's just like tap this to untap something.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Yeah,
it sort of still means that it's still stunned.
Yeah.
Dutiful Griffin. It's a Griffin. It's got fly. It's a 5-drop 4/4. I missed the 4/4. It's a 4/4 5-drop with flying.
Seems about right.
With 3
for white, it does.
For 2 and a white, sacrifice 2 enchantments, return it from the graveyard to the to hand. Not to battlefield, to hand.
There's definitely an aristocrat theme in this set.
Imodane's Recruiter, a human knight for 3, for 2 and a red. When Imodane's Recruiter enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn. For a 2/2, not bad. For 4 and a white, you can train the troops to create 2/2 white knight creature tokens with vigilance.
Wait, so which one costs more?
The sorcery.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, it makes sense if you're creating 2/2/2s with vigilance.
Yeah, I'd pay that.
Yeah, it's not outside it's an uncommon, so it's not outside the realm of.
I was gonna say I think it's just a little the adventure seems just like 1 mana too expensive.
I would say that, but I think the flip side is that what you do is you cast it, and then you cast the Imidane's Recruiter, and then you get 2/3/2s with with vigilance that can attack.
Yeah.
Which seems fair if you're going to cast it for
I've-
what is it, 8? Well, that's just not not fair.
I think that's what they're trying to avoid from last time because the adventures were at premium or at cost, at parity,
Yeah.
and they were a little too strong.
Well, they worked out some of the kinks with Baldur's Gate, was it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate had some adventures.
Yeah. So then we have Rat Out, which costs 1 and is an instant, and up to 1 target creature gets -1/-1 till end of turn, and you create a 1/1 black rat creature token with this creature can't block. So for 1, you can kill the 1/1 and create a rat.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually not bad for a common.
No.
Yeah.
A reprint of Prophetic Prism, which is a fine card.
Yeah.
I got nothing to say about it.
It's a prism.
Return Triumphant. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Create a young hero role token attached to it. Enchanted creature so the young hero role is whenever this creature attacks, if its toughness is 3 or less, put a +1/+1 counter on it.
So it's sort of like training, sort of,
Sort of. I mean, sort of.
but like much worse.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is that you're giving roles. And the interesting thing I think about roles is the fact that while you can only control one role attached to a player, attached to a creature, other players can put roles on them. So I could attach the young hero role, and then Rod could attach the villain role, so they could be a villainous young hero.
Hey, what's that game that you love, Trent? About being an adventurer and making a story about them? That looks like the box looks like a book, and you're trying to tell stories about your adventure, and you give them roles.
I'm not.
I'll come back to it.
You'll
But-
remember when it's least convenient.
Yep, guaranteed.
I feel like the art in this is
Worthy of mention.
yeah, like that mirror shatter. I think I've seen in like promotional art, like when they went, "Oh, these are all the sets we're doing for the next while," where they announced Assassin's Creed and that.
Oh,
I saw something like broken glass in that, and I'm just wondering if they were
that's not the.
doing that as a
Oh, that wasn't the one with the no. That was.
I'm thinking they're just using it as an opportunistic thing that they're like, let's go through some more art because the artist that did the the broken glass art pieces look that looks really good. So
I finally remember the name of the board game. It's Call to Adventure.
yes,
This feels like a Magic version of Call to Adventure.
yep.
I mean, if there was ever a set to do it in,
It'd be this one.
it would be this one. All right. So, are we ready for the actual part of the game?
Yep.
All right. So, tell me whether or not this card is based on a fable, or whether or not it's been made up by wizards. So, the card itself is called the Skewer Slinger. They're a dwarf knight, and they cost 1 and a red, with 1/3 power toughness. They have reach. Whenever Skewer Slinger blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, Skewer Slinger deals 1 damage to that creature. And the flavor text reads, "One way or another, dwarven meals end up in someone's stomach." So,
What?
one way or another, dwarven meals end up in someone's stomach. So the whole idea is that because they're a skewer slinger, they're slinging skewers of meat.
Oh, okay. That's probably the bit that I was missing.
This is the part where the DM goes, you failed your intimidation check.
All right. So tell me whether or not you think this is based on a fable, or whether or not it's a fake.
So, just give me a bit of a description of the art piece. So
It's a small young dwarf that has some meat skewers in between sort of each of the knuckles, and they're screaming. They've also got another meat skewer that they appear to be wielding like a dagger. It appears to be some kind of food fight that is going on in the background.
Oh. Yeah.
So,
All right.
everyone,
I've locked
put-
in my answer.
Yep.
you locked in your answer? Very well. We'll start with Trent. So, Trent, tell me whether or not you think it's a fake or a fable.
I think it's a fake. Like
Ooh.
there's every possibility that there is some sort of night dwarf, but I feel like it's just going to be such an edge character that it's not really any sort of story significance. Like, yeah,
The one character that pops up for like a single sentence and is never heard of or mentioned ever again.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Rod.
I also went with fake because your description of him sounds more like a goblin than a dwarf. Because like improvised weaponry is more of a goblin thing.
Yes,
And also-
but counterpoint. Dwarves are well known for food
Yeah, but
related
they
things.
wouldn't waste good food on a fight.
I don't know.
Especially good meat. Yeah.
Good meat.
Well, good meat, yes, but I was going to say, don't you know about what is it? Dwarven bread, dwarven battle bread.
I do not.
Yeah, no, this is a new story.
No, it's Terry Pratchett.
Oh, I probably haven't read
Oh,
that.
okay. In Terry Pratchett's books, the dwarves' bread is considered to be thoroughly inedible, even though they eat it, and so it's frequently used as a weapon on the battlefield.
Ah.
Okay.
It also just sounds like a knockoff version of the Seven Dwarfs.
We already had the seven dwarves, so yeah, that would. Well, it's come back to me, and so this time I'm also going to say it's a fake because I can't think of any fables that involve maiming by food. So for that one, we have both Trent and Rod get a point.
So for all the non-Australian viewers, we should probably explain to what fairy bread actually is.
No, they can look it up on YouTube. Sorry, on Wikipedia.
On YouTube. No, stay on YouTube.
Stay on YouTube. Do not attempt to adjust the television screen.
Wow, I haven't had this in decades.
Isn't that the point?
That's probably for a good thing. It's comprised of what, sugar and nothing else.
Sugar and butter.
Carbonating.
Sugar and fat is what the body craves.
I thought the body craves food, but yeah.
It's got what the body craves is power.
Power thirst.
Brondo.
Brondo?
Oh. It's got what the body body needs.
It's got what the
it's
body
like-
needs.
Oh man, I should rewatch
Oh, yes.
that. I should rewatch that movie. It's gotten better with age.
Or has it just gotten more real?
Both.
It wasn't supposed to be.
I know. It so is. Alright.
My pack.
Yep. Alright, so we'll go around like that. Okay.
Yeah, why not? Spread the love.
This one.
Alright, so that's ours for the guessing.
I'm not going to be prophetic there. I'm going to. I don't think it's a fake. So we have another food token.
Yes. Wait, is it different? Is
It
it
is a different food token.
It is a different food token?
I believe there's going to be like a set. Food is
Oh.
supposed to be super important. In
Have
this
we looked
set.
at the backside of them?
How dare you look at the back of food? You don't ever want to know where food comes from.
But that's what bacon comes from.
We have a human and a nightmare on the backs.
Nice. A tale for the ages. Bit of a stage play going on there.
What does it do?
It's an anthem effect. Enchanted creatures you control get +2/+2.
Ah.
That's very nice and white, especially at such a low cost.
Yeah,
It's
for
one
for-
generic and one white.
I don't play enchantments, so it doesn't matter.
Why not? This one might help you as well. Copy enchantment.
Ooh!
Ooh. Wait. Oh, that's part of the...
You may
Yeah.
have copy enchantment enter the battlefield as a copy of another enchantment.
very sort of... Very highly needed reprint.
You mean like Smother and Tithe?
The Gleeful Glutton.
Ooh.
Other way around.
Dragon Noble.
Oh, Kobold's back!
I'm assuming that's someone from Magic Past.
No, so in the last Eldraine set, there was Corvold,
Oh,
who was the king who was arrogant and got turned into a dragon.
He was from the Brawl decks.
No, he wasn't. He was an actual card.
Oh no, wait, no. He had two versions. He had like one for the Brawl deck with that time.
I thought he was... No, there's only one.
Yeah.
Because his deck was great because it revolved around sacrifice.
So
whenever he attacks, you have to sacrifice something. And whenever you sacrifice something, he would do things. I think it was draw a card.
+1/+1 and draw a card.
Yeah, you put a +1/+1 counter and draw a card. So it's great that he's back.
Restless Cottage. which if this was the card that came out, I would definitely go this to Fable. That's clearly reference to Baba Yaga's cottage.
Yeah, I was thinking it's either Baba Yaga or pretty much any of the other witches, but I like the idea of having Baba Yaga or Baba Yaga.
Beautiful art on this one.
What is it?
Spreading Seas.
Is that the one that turns things into an island?
Yep. When you enter the battlefield, draw a card. Enchanted land is an island.
Okay. It's fine. I believe it sees modern play.
Merfolks.
Yeah.
I was going to say you probably want to run it in a Merfolk deck and then give your opponent an island and
Yep.
land walk.
Also
with
shuts
that.
down Tron.
Curiosity,
Ooh!
Ooh.
which is beautiful art on that.
Curiosity's always a good card.
Right. Favorite card with Nib Visit.
That makes sense. Same planes.
The same planes. A frolicking familiar. We've got a little otter riding a broom there.
Wearing a wizard hat.
Unfortunately not legendary, so I
Oh.
can't make a commander deck based on this guy, but I totally would.
But they are an otter wizard.
Yeah, they're an otter wizard. Otter ridiculousness. Witch's Vanity.
Ah, that's a saga.
Yeah. Destroy target creature, create a food, create a wicked token roll. All the things that a good wicked witch needs to be doing.
Sacrificing things for greater.
Oh, this is a gorgeous one. This is Eretit's Tempting Apple. That's just gorgeous one there. Savior of the Sleeping. Aquatic Alchemist. Thought for a moment there that was an octopus. I'm like, okay.
It's not?
Octopus Alchemist. No, it's an elemental.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I agree. It looked like an octopus.
A Howling Scavenger.
Is it eating, like, lollies?
No, it looked like an arm.
Oh, does it? Sorry, just on the camera, it looked
Wow. No, it's okay. So it's the art is actually a little bit like take multiple looks at it, but it's an arm, but of like a
Candy person?
Yeah, like a candy person.
That's great.
So it's like a marshmallow man or something.
That's awful. That's awful, and I love it.
And then Ratcatcher Trainee.
Ooh.
Which an adventure, create 2 Oh, that seems like a pretty good rate. 2/1/1 black rat creature tokens for 2 generic and 1 red. And then, as long as it's your turn, Ratcatcher Trainee has first strike for 1 and 1 red. 2/1. That's not a bad card.
So, I'd just like to take a little moment and say that Trent's comment on it being a marshmallow person, I think, is kind of accurate. But it just occurred to me that does that mean that this wolf killed the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? Why call them Ghostbusters? You just get a wolf.
It's the gatekeeper or the keymaster.
Are you the keymaster?
And then for my fake or fable card, wow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow, that is a stunning card. Okay, let's just line that up there.
Restless Spire. Oh, it's a land.
It's a land.
Oh.
Full art land. I imagine there's probably legendary rare lands.
Well, I mean, we got Baba Yagas.
Yeah.
So
if there's a full art Baba Yagas floating around, that might be wild. Relentless Spire.
any indication as to what it does or what?
Enters battlefield tapped, which is fairly common for dual lands nowadays.
Yeah.
1 blue, 1 red until end of turn. Relentless Spire becomes a 2/1 blue and red elemental creature with, as long as it is your turn, this creature has first strike, it's still a land, and whenever it attacks, it scries 1. So very flavorful that it's like blue is very scrying and the red elemental lands, like I feel like that's a very red mechanic of making lands creatures. But yeah, it's just got this beautiful dragon and looks like a koi fish.
Oh? A koi fish. Alright. I do believe it's voting time. So please put down your card whether or not you think it's a fake or a fable. I've submitted mine. Alright, so we'll start with Rod. So tell me, do you think it is a fake or a fable?
Oh wait, wrong one. Everyone knows the very real story of the 2/1 elemental that could.
Ah, yes, it's a common story. Ever since Zendikar, I think of those two, those lands that wish they were people.
I definitely feel it's a plain exclusive thing, not a great unconscious fairy tale story.
I have to, unfortunately, agree. I also think that it's a fake. As much as I am tempted to think that it's a fable because it's got a koi, or it's got a dragon or thing, or something, I can't think of any stories where you have both a koi and a dragon, or you have something forming out of lava and something forming out of water and fighting, or anything like that. So, I'm sorry.
I'm also fake. I genuinely can't think of any sort of stories that very focus around sort of a land formation, but like Rapunzel's tower or something like that. Yeah, it's not. There's not anything that sort of springs to mind immediately for this like very primal looking land.
All right, and with that, I believe that both of you have now got 2 points. You may take your
ill-gotten gains.
Your fairy bread. I wouldn't say it's ill-gotten.
But like that being said, it does reminisce me of like the koi who swam up the river to become a dragon.
Oh,
there's a couple of yeah, but the problem is that that's usually just
But like it's not really depicted in the art. But I can see where they're going with the feel of the Heartstar.
Well, I mean that makes sense, but it's also how, like, when the plane was first introduced, it was a Arthurian sort of fairy tale land. So while I think that it's good that they have the inclusion of Eastern stories. I don't think they're quite there yet.
Ooh, we got a cute little rat token.
Ratty rat.
Um,
It is a cute little rat. I mean, rats aren't necessarily cute, but this one is.
no, well, domestic rats are cute. Feral rats are a whole different story, especially Australian ones. It was top 3, right?
Bottom.
Bottom.
Yeah.
All right, so this one's going to be our
All right.
question card.
Yep.
All right.
That's going to be our fake or fable.
So a full version of Copy Enchantment.
Nice.
Yep. Ooh, anime Karmic Justice. So 2 and a white for enchantment. Whenever a spell ability an opponent controls destroy a non-creature permanent you control, you may destroy target permanent that opponent controls. Very good if you could flash that in somehow.
There's a number of ways you could flash that in.
But not by itself.
No, it doesn't have flash.
Alright, so this is definitely a new one. The End.
My only friend, the end.
So, black 2 for an instant. This spell costs 2 less if your life total is 5 or less. Exile target creature on Planeswalker. Searches controller's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name. That permanent, and exile them. That player shelves the library and draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. Wow, this would really kill a pack rat deck.
I think that could be the intent.
Oh, damn it! I was just about to build a Shadowborn puzzle deck.
Not anymore.
Oh no, the one hoser.
So that's the art piece that I was talking about with the prismatic prism. That it's sort of that continued.
Oh, I don't like the fact that the Shattering Glass has a face on it.
Well, I mean, it could be. Actually, I can't mention because just in case we get that card again.
Alright, so we got a charming scoundrel. He's very. I hate the fact that I cannot tell the difference between a pirate and a rogue in Magic.
A pirate and a rogue.
Yeah, because sometimes a pirate
One's
is a
got
rogue.
a cutlass.
Yeah, but sometimes a pirate is a clear pirate in the art is a rogue, and sometimes a rogue in the text is a pirate.
Yeah, but usually they've been drawing the pirates with cutlasses, and the rogues with daggers.
All right, so this one's definitely a rogue. It's got a little dagger on it. So a 1/1 with haste for 2, and
I mean, that's so far the only thing that they're using to indicate.
yeah. So when it enters the battlefield, choose one, discard a card, then draw a card, create a treasure token, or create a wicked roll a token attachment to target creature you control. So that's pretty good for a red aggro deck, especially with like the
wicked rolls.
wicked rolls.
They need to make a cutlass rogue.
Oh,
Just to screw with them.
dagger pirate.
Yep, dagger pirate.
And Knightly Valor in foil.
Yep, another.
Ooh, Grasp of Fate. Trying to remember his name. Oh, Frida Kahlo.
His name?
No. Frida Kahlo. No. Frida Kahlo. Because this is very reminiscent of the art of the Two Sisters. With the thorn heart. Only Mexicans will get that joke or reference.
Okay.
Okay.
For the weeds, the Toho character with the eye.
Satori?
Yes. That's what she's referencing. Anyway, very important Mexican piece of art.
Well, I mean, the Satori is a yokai. It's an actual Japanese.
But
thing,
she was based off that painting.
Okay.
Anyway. So we have when it Grasp of Fate, when it enters the battlefield, for each opponent, exile up to one target non-land permanent until it leaves the battlefield. So
Yeah, that's just a...
Banishing Light is just getting better and better every set.
Well, you got to remember that Banishing Light was pretty much the on-curve removal that...
Before it used to be get rid of one thing till it enters the battlefield, now it's like, you can get rid of multiple things. Ooh, a non-place this time. A nice little...
it's an island.
For a second I thought that rock at the bottom was a troll.
Is it a person or is it a rock?
No, like it's just a rock, but the branch at the bottom looked like a bridge to me. So I was like, ooh, bridge and troll.
Well, have we had a Billy Goat's Gruff card?
Yes. But we had a
Clackbridge Troll.
Clackbridge troll who makes
That's
free goat tokens,
That's right, yeah.
and then he eats them.
Yeah. It's actually a really good card. I like playing it in an arena.
Well, we've got Ashiok's Reaper, because every planeswalker has to have a companion creature.
That they never use in lore or anything like that.
Just yeah.
Or doesn't further their Planeswalker game plan.
I mean, what about Garrick's Horde? Nope.
No.
Just me.
Yeah. Doesn't follow any. No.
So 4 costs 3/3. Whenever an enchantment you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card.
Okay.
Solid. Ooh, Soul Lantern, Soul Guide Lantern.
Oh.
The art looks like the what's the little packs called that you smash two together to play? Jumpstart. The art is very reminiscent of a Jumpstart.
Oh, okay.
Like it's very anime looking.
Well, I do find it funny that they keep reprinting Soul Guide Lantern.
It's just a good card. Like, if you see that in a drop, you're not going to say no to it. Ooh, Bitter Chill with what looks like an edgier Elsa.
Really?
She's got very pointy clothing on.
Oh, is this the one that you were talking about, Trent? This looks like something from... Sorry, I'm looking at the Soul Guide Lantern now. I'm just looking at it up close. And it's like... The character in Soul Guide Lantern looks way too much like someone from Lorwyn.
He does, doesn't it?
Looks like one of the elves or like the Cinders or something from Lorwyn.
They're just probably throwing that in for a nice reference. Like, it's not like we're going to go back to Lorwyn.
No. I
No.
mean, Lorwyn, they said they're never going back to, and they're done with it. It's got no story.
What about that weird place, the Shadow?
Shadowmoor?
Yeah.
No. They're not going to go back to that either. They're done with that.
So we got a nice bros.
By the way, those of you playing at home, we're all being very sarcastic.
they've announced they're going back to the plane. So we got a nice frost effect on the Bitter Chill. So 2 cost enchantment, enchant creature. When it enters battlefield, tap enchanted creature. It does not untap during their untap step, and when it's put to the graveyard from the battlefield, you may pay 1. If you do, scry 1, then draw a card. I'd definitely run that. Because I'm used to just tapping down a creature with my enchantment, and that's all it ever does.
I mean, there are a number of cards that tap. Like, you had the Snow Queen or whatever from last Eldraine. She tapped stuff down when she entered.
But this one, when it leaves, you can pay 1 to draw a card and replenish. That's the other bonus from, like, the current. Oh my god.
There's some interesting detailing done on the heart here. I'm just wondering if that's sort of like a reference to the frozen heart that's featured in Snow Queen.
Oh, wow. Keep going.
So,
I'm
like,
just going to look at the beautiful art of Bitter Chill.
One thing I love about every set is that all the counterspell magic has its own flavor text of going nope. So we've got Ice Out.
Ice Out.
So it's got Elsa doing counterspell.
Oh, yeah, the counterspell shield.
Yep. So Hilda built an ice statuary from all those who could understand go away.
Wow.
So
I do like how counterspells usually have some of the best one-liners.
yeah, it's like nope, go away, leave me alone.
That Commander Master's it's such a nice spell. Shame if something to happen.
But you can bargain. You can bargain to make it cost 2 blue.
So what's the bargain mechanic?
You may sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or token as you cast this spell.
Okay.
And then you get the bargain effect.
So the bargain effect for this one is it costs 1 less generic.
Okay.
So it's good for like a blue-black deck where you want to sacrifice your creatures, or you just have 1 mana short.
Well, I believe the whole idea of this set was that it just produces a whole bunch of like little artifacts, like you got the food and things like that.
Yeah.
So, well, you got the food and you got the rolls. So it was
Wait,
more.
the rolls don't have a type?
Yeah, they're enchantments.
Oh, that changes everything. I thought it was going to be like the... It was going to be like a typeless aura.
No, they're enchantments.
So it's a continuation of the character on the
Yeah, on the
ice
bitter
art is
chill.
Hilda. Yeah.
It's Hilda.
Hilda.
So I think
Wait. Is the bread Hilda's?
So now we're just seeing... I'm trying to remember the 5-color command everyone plays
Slivers?
from
Slivers?
Eldraine.
Eldraine. That was a 5-color commander.
Slivers?
Eldraine.
Yeah, the Biobox exclusive. Sir King something.
Oh, the white.
Yeah.
Kenrith.
Kenrith. Like he was
Well,
like...
yeah, Kenrith is the funeral. That was the return.
Because I think we're seeing the story moment here.
What, where he dies?
Yeah. Because we got the Hopeless Nightmare, and he's clearly depicted there.
Well, isn't that Will's nightmare?
No, it says here Hopeless Nightmare.
Yeah, but Will is the one who's having the nightmare.
Is he?
I
I haven't followed the story.
don't know either. I'm not allowed to, I wasn't allowed to read the story.
Yeah, but like in this one, you clearly see Kenrith being tortured.
Sorry.
Yeah, in the Aftermath cards, there was a bunch of like references to other planes, and one of the big ones was the Ken's funeral.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that set.
That's because it was a micro set.
A lot of people forgot about that.
It was a micro set with 50 new cards.
I like my set speak. Thank you very much.
That's it. I mean, I got my hollow foil Strixhaven teachers, so I'm not set.
Nice.
I can't tell you. But I believe, based on what I've seen of the promotional art of Will, then that this is probably, his father.
Yeah.
Something or other, Kenneth.
Yeah. It's,
But yeah.
I do like this. I don't know. The only thing I like about this fairy right now is...
Oh, the spider eyes.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
It gets worse the more you look at it. So, obviously, as Australians, we're trained to see spiders in the art.
Yeah, but these are spiders with, instead of abdomens, eyes.
Like, don't get me wrong, this is very beautiful art. But this looks more like a ghost than a fairy. Because it's very...
Oh, but they had that with, what was it? Grandmother, guiding fairy or something like that. Which was the adventure one where you could pay, I think it was 2 to give a target creature flying until end of turn, and you could pay 1 and get a 1/1 flyer.
Like, I think they're putting together fairies and wisps.
They seem to be doing that.
Because wisps are like more spirits than fairies.
Well, wisps are spirits, yeah.
Yeah. So I think,
Either of dead children or dead things, you know.
but they're supposed to help you on your travels.
I gotta say, this is one thing though that
50-50.
like, I don't know if it's a good thing about Magic. Like, it bothers me a lot that we sort of get these beautiful, beautiful art pieces
On terrible cards.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this is like having something that it's just like, oh yeah, I slam this down on the table and everyone suffers would have been really nice because this art piece is just wonderful.
Well, that was actually one of the things, because there's it was Aftermath. So there is a card in Aftermath that is this beautiful thing, and the artist was explaining how they took inspiration from Renaissance art and this whole kind of thing, and it's this huge, wonderful tableau, and Wizards, and so they submit it, and they don't know what card it's going to be on because all they do is get a prompt.
Yep.
But Wizards like cut and chopped it down so it was small. They compressed it so they couldn't really see, so you couldn't really see too much of the art, and they stuck it on a card that no one ever uses because it's just so bad.
But okay, but on the flip side, for the more casual players, it just makes every card more exciting because art is a big attraction to cards. because we as the more franchise players, we look at the effects first, then the art. Whereas the average player who makes up the majority of the player base looks at the art first, then the effect.
That's very true.
That's true, but then at the same time, if they're going to crop the art, or if they're going to, like, if they're going to stick it on a common, then
But like,
it sort of negates it, because if you're going to have such beautiful, wonderful art, I mean, okay, we're probably being really cruel because all the artists put a lot of time and effort, and there is a lot of beautiful art. What we're talking about specifically is probably would be classified as stylized art, almost.
I just mean like if so I have a Umbrus Nightmares deck.
Oh yeah, Umbrus, yeah.
And I'm just like, if I could slam that card down, the art of that card down every time I was playing Umbrus.
Oh, that would be
something nightmarish. Like that would be wonderful. So it's just like,
I must admit, the art on Umbrus, Fear Manifest, it kills me because it's plain. It's it's supposed to be Fear Manifest. He's supposed to be like a living embodiment of nightmares and fears, and he's just a goop.
I'm just wondering if I need to say that most unholy blasphemic of words, but run that art as a proxy art for my Umbrus. So I'd actually think that that's a pretty good sort of representation of like unspeakable nightmares.
Yeah, I'd like to have it where Umbrus is sort of like a weird. It's sort of like the boogeyman from The Nightmare Before Christmas, where Oogie Boogie, where you just have him made out of various like. You've got spiders with eyes. You've got an occasional like tentacle or something. Things that embody people's fears. Like you could even give him holes for what is it, tryptophobia or something. And then if you really wanted to make it funny and equally terrifying, give him clown makeup.
but that being said, a lot of the art does hit the flavor of what the card name represents.
Yeah.
But like, there's just a few corner cases we complain about very loudly.
Yeah, but I suppose
Like,
it's also because usually for the like if it's a creature, it's a lot easier than if it's a generic spell.
Yeah. Because like.
That said, Faithless Looting Mystic Archive.
Oh.
Okay. No.
I
All right. I know you like that art. And that's fine, and I appreciate.
I hate that art. I wish the art for it was like the Thrill of Possibility art on Faithless Looting.
Yeah.
I was just like, I love the Thrill of Possibility art.
Okay, I really. What annoys me probably the most is if you were looking at the art and you're going, okay, this is how the artist does their stuff, but the same artist has other cards in the Mystic Archive that are beautiful and gorgeous and wonderful, and then you've got this thing, which the art. Okay, first off, the artist is actually really good, and I really love some of the stuff that they've done. But for Faithless Looting, and I know they wanted to do something different, it still looks like an MS Paint job.
But have you seen the full art, the full display image they
I have. I still don't like it. Sorry.
But like, that's the thing though. It's a very fine art of doing art versus doing art for a game. Those are two different skill sets.
Yes, but the point is that Magic has come the way of we're going to treat each card art not as if it's from a game, but if it's telling part of a greater story.
Oh, yeah, I'm just having a look. Carly Mazer is the artist.
Right.
She did, Dave, sorry, don't want to
Misgender.
misguess. Yeah. Did Harmonize in the Mystic Archive.
Yeah.
Harmonize is beautiful. And
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Dominaria art, and that is breathtaking.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
they've
so
done some
beautiful.
really good art, and then they did Faithless Looting.
Okay, but has it accomplished its job as art? It evoked an emotion from you, so therefore it's art.
Oh yeah, it's made it a very memorable card. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but then again, that's like,
Look,
is that what you want? Like, yes, you want an emotion and you want to evoke something, but at the same time, it didn't really evoke an emotion so much as a discussion around it.
But It did, but not all emotions have to be positive.
Oh
For
yeah.
those of you playing at home,
Yeah.
Oh,
faithless looting.
That being
cards.
said, I do want to buy their print for that art because I do like the mixed media thing.
no,
Not so
the
much for a
media
magic
print.
card, but like as art itself, I love it.
The Thrill of Possibility card in the Mystic Archive
Yes.
Yeah.
is my second favorite piece of magic art of all time. Cool.
All right, cool. So for the last one, we have Kellen's Light Blades. So like the very common 2 damage.
Oh, that's the new Planeswalker. Sorry, that's the new not so Planeswalker.
The D-Spark.
Kellen.
Yeah, no. So Kellen's supposed to be the new protagonist for all the stories going forward for the new arc, the new quote unquote arc.
Oh. So
It's supposed to be a young kid who was raised by the Fae.
oh.
And apparently they're sent out. I believe there's also art where they're looking at one of the Omen parts.
The art is very reminiscent of a Johnny Strike. I
Really?
mean, it's basically a Johnny Strike.
I was looking at it thinking it looks a lot like the Wanderer.
Well, the Wanderer also has a very similar Johnny Strike effect of to pay 1 and a white for 2
I
or
meant
3
the
damage.
art.
Yeah.
I was thinking like Ajani's been gone for so long that white doesn't really have a really dominant planeswalker.
No, they killed him off, and then they desparked the others.
Well, like the dominant white planeswalker that I can think of is the Wandering Emperor, but that's so
Desparked.
So really,
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
okay.
She was desparked. They desparked all. They desparked her. They desparked Basari Ket, who was the one from Amonkhet.
No one cares about Versari Sec.
And they
And Neri,
Nihiri they desparked.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they desparked Teo, who was the geometry mancer.
And Nissa.
Nissa? Yeah, they desparked Nissa.
Yeah.
Which tears me up. They also desparked because apparently they don't like minorities. Huatli and Sahili Rai.
Look, okay.
So
but
they broke up that pairing, and it annoys me.
to be fair, out of all the planeswalkers, she would care the least about being desparked as long as she has access to dinosaurs.
Huatli?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they also got rid of her girlfriend, Sahili Rai,
It's a
and now
long-
they're separated by planes and can't see each
It's
other,
a
and it
long
annoys me.
distance relationship.
Good story beat though.
Yeah, like
But it annoys me.
it annoys me, but it could.
They belong with each other,
But like a lot of relationships nowadays, it's a long distance thing.
but they can't communicate.
Just like a lot of people without internet.
They need to like do something like use the heart of a dying sun to send communications across the barriers between.
I think
Time and space.
I think you
maybe.
get the. I think that's the feeling of the next set when they revisit the Eternal Sun.
Yeah, it also felt like the only reason they desparked Huatli is because they had no clue what to do with her, and that's evident in her card and her card evolution.
They have a hard time writing strong, independent women.
I think they have a hard time deciding what to do with all the planeswalkers, and they're just like
Yeah.
House of M.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was a good move probably to like to sort of make refocus on what they wanted, but I really do think it might be a good move to give new players coming in somewhere to start, because if this guy is going to be something that it's like part of the full story moving forward, it's going to be a really cool set, potentially a very cool set that it's like, cool, he's now a planeswalker, he's the white planeswalker, and people like coming in now get to have this story of like, well, this is where he's come from, this is where he's going to, and then becoming the predominant white planeswalker.
I think
My
that's-
understanding, again,
Yeah.
I don't know much. I haven't read the stories, but I do know that they were touting him. My understanding is that they have plans to never make him a planeswalker.
Ah,
That's-
but like, but they've got the
Because he's-
gates which open up between planes, so
Yeah.
legendary creatures are making appearances in different planes from their
Which is
homeworld.
how he's traversing. But the problem with the Omen paths is that it's as they keep saying, it's a matter of rolling the dice, and I know they're not going to kill him off, but it sort of feels weird if they're going to... It's like sliders. Sorry, I'm...
Sliders?
No, don't, no. It's like the TV show Sliders, because I'm a massive nerd, and I know most of the people around this table are also massive nerds. But
Hey.
Mallory, don't you count me in on your side of the world of this.
I'm a cool guy. Thank you very much.
yes,
Yeah.
let's see. Let's see. Fake or Fable?
Cool. Questing druid.
Oh wait, that looks like a what is it? Nantuko druid?
He does. Oh my god, he does actually. Except a human Nantuko druid. So he's got 1 and a green for a human druid. Whenever you cast a spell that's white, blue, black, or red, put a +1/+1 on it. Where have I seen that before? I know it's a card.
Whenever you cast a blue, black, white, or red.
Anything that's not green.
Classic.
No, it was a creature.
Sorry, I snorted.
Yep.
It's everything but green.
Yeah. Then it's got an adventure which is 1 in red, instant. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until your next end step, you may play them.
Yeah. That's
Impulse.
becoming the standard red thing now.
Impulse.
Yeah.
But I love the art of him looking very one with nature. Yep.
Down to scooch.
Down.
+1/+1 on question.
Like it's a very old card that didn't see much play, but it was a thing.
What was?
The +1/+1 on a non-green spell. I remember playing
Can't
it.
remember.
Oh my god, I can name cards. Anyway.
All right. So I guess now it's time for whether or not it's a fake or a fable.
Yep.
All right. This time we will start with me.
Sure. As you pointed someone else.
That was just a generic sort of... Alright, so this one I'm going to say is a fake. I know that druids, or what is it, shamans of nature and various other things appear in various media and various fables and things like that, like the old man in the forest. But I think I can't justify thinking that it's a fable. It's clearly just someone who's living in the forest.
I'm actually going to disagree. I think Fable.
Oh?
I think the one with nature really going through something and becoming much more powerful due to a nature connection, I think is just such a classic element of stories. I'm thinking something even like Merwin, like the early incarnations of Merlin. Because Merlin originally was more shamanic than a magician. So
Well, he was a fae, so that's...
No, he was born of a Fey and man.
Yeah,
so
but
I
he
think
was raised as a fae.
I think it could be a less sort of out there version of Merlin.
I'm also going to say Fable.
Oh, I'm outvoted. Oh,
Okay,
Wow.
but
Wow.
I have a very specific...
disagreeing with the host. Oh,
It's our
you got
duty.
balls, man.
But there's a very famous TikTok story of a king who started building a giant castle and got a woodchuck to do it for him because he was trying to build his own castle, and he basically cut down the entire forest to build his giant, very unstable tower. And there's a very general zeitgeist of the king falling from his crown and becoming one with nature, and regaining his glory as becoming a more conscious what's the term? Conscionable leader? Conscientious leader by giving up everything he's been handed and earned his title.
So
Yeah,
is this supposed to be like a variant of the Fisher King?
I think it's a lot of positivity towards, like, we've got such a sort of... We had this swing towards industrialization that it's like, oh, the industrialists are the good guys. And now it's sort of the reverse, is sort of like the people who are sort of becoming more in line with nature is sort of then the counterpoint that it's like, nature is good, industry is bad.
But industry pays more.
But what is pay?
Is apparently what we need to live and survive. Anyway,
I'll
so
let them that up. Hey, Wizards, I'm free to be an ambassador.
you have to subscribe to that.
Hit that smash bell.
Yeah, hit that like button.
Smash the bell.
Smash the bell, hit the like and subscribe.
Smack a dog. I don't know.
Don't smack a dog.
No.
Smack-
Violence against animals is not okay.
Smack a sausage.
Yep.
Alright, well, despite the fact that both of you disagreed with the host...
Hey, we've established beforehand that it's not the correct answer, but the popular answer.
Yeah. Populist. How could you?
For one time in my life, I'm going to be popular, and I'm going to stick.
Exactly. I'm going to make sure everyone thinks I'm popular, whether they like it or not. But yes, despite disagreeing with the host, you're both on even points, which I don't like. I think it's time that we started reaching out and, stirring some pots and making sure that maybe people are not as
Agreeable?
agreeable. Jovial's fine. I just think that you guys need to stop agreeing.
Okay.
So the first one I've got is food. First one I've got is food, and it's great because it looks like it looks like jelly that has a mouth.
Okay.
I actually really kind of like it.
Jelly-filled donut eats you.
But it wasn't the last onset they did that, where they had the giant jelly blob who just eats you instead?
Yes. I'm
very
trying to remember the
unsettling.
name of the card.
No, I think in more Futurama, where they got the giant blob who just eats everything.
Futurama?
Yeah, they've got like this giant green blob who just, as a punchline, just eats it.
Oh, yeah, the alien. Yeah. Alright, so this time we have a Spectre of Mortality. It's a Spectre creature type. It costs 5 and is a 3/3 and has flying,
Nice.
because Black hardly has flying.
They introduced a new...
Spectre?
Yeah, a new creature type?
No. Spectre's been around.
Okay.
There's other Spectres. It's usually Spectre of Blair. When Spectre of Mortality enters the battlefield, you may exile one or more creature cards from your graveyard. When you do, each other creature gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of cards exiled this way. Okay.
Speaking of Lumbers,
I was actually kind of hoping that it was where X is the total value of the cards exiled.
exile Umamog, off we go.
Yeah, exactly. But no, this is just like exile everything in your graveyard. I mean, it makes more sense. I just like mine better.
I like my overpowered ability better.
Hey, we have another Leyline.
Ooh, nice.
A Leyline of Sanctity.
Ooh.
Yes, this is a popular white one, where it gives you hexproof. So here we have a Knick-Knack Ophi. It's an Ophi creature type, and it's
Did
from...
they kill Patty? I don't know.
I don't know.
Knick-knack.
Paddywhack, yeah.
They whacked Patty.
Well, I believe that it's supposed to be something about the paddy wagon, but I know that's not the case.
Did they give the dog the bone?
So, this one's from the Commander set, because it's got the Commander icon, and Knick-Knack Ophi, so it costs X and 1, green, for a 1/1. Knick-Knack Ophi enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. That makes sense. When Knick-Knack Ophi enters the battlefield, reveal the top X cards of your library. You may put any number of aura cards with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield.
Oh.
Wow.
Then put all cards revealed this way that weren't put onto the battlefield on the bottom of your library in a random order. Oh, that's fun. That's a fun card. Expel the Interlopers. Now, for those of you, the Buy a Box was an alternate version of this, alternate art version. Choose a number between 0 and 10. Destroy all creatures with power greater than or equal to the number chosen.
Okay.
So you pick 5, and then anything that has a power 5 or greater is destroyed.
Oh.
Okay.
But you got to choose a number between 1 and 10.
Hmm.
Okay. Pity it's It looks like it's white coloured because that could go straight in your Eldrazi.
Yeah. I mean, Eldrazi thankfully recently did get a board wipe.
What do you mean, thankfully?
Well, I mean, they didn't have any form of removal. They had
Oh
one.
no, Annihilator's not enough removal.
It's not enough removal, okay?
Wasn't it? No, you do have a board wipe.
No. There was one which was Titan's Presence, which is reveal a card from your hand. Exile target creature with power less than. So we have Vampiric Rites, which is one of the enchantments, which is oddly enough one of the much needed reprints. Then we have Stab Wound. I love this art. So, oh my gosh. It's killing Jelly Donut Man. She's stabbing a Jelly Donut Man. I'm having way too much fun. All is dust. Yeah. That's not Eldrazi only. It's Destroy All Colorless. It works in, what is it? Colors decks. Sorry, artifact decks as well.
I guess.
I'm sticking. That's my point. I'm sticking to it. Stab Wound is great. I love the art.
Yes.
We have a swamp.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Very swampy.
Look at all those mangroves. We have a glass casket. So a reprint of of an Eldraine card.
I mean, it's in a lot of Pioneer play.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, and I believe this is the only other time it's been reprinted,
Yep.
so that's fair. Galvanic Giant. They're a 3 blue giant wizard. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, tap target creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. And it's got an adventure called Storm Reading for 7. Draw 4 cards, then discard 2 cards. What? So for 7 mana, you draw 4, discard 2.
The Lord of the Rings had the island cycling one that was about the same.
Yeah, but it was cheaper, wasn't it? About 7?
It was about 7.
Ugh, I don't like that.
It was pretty gross.
Hey! A legendary creature!
Nice.
Troyan, Gutsy Explorer. Legendary creature, Vidalcan Scout.
So we've got Vidalcan on
Eldraine.
Drain. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you've got Vidalcan on Faerun now,
That's true.
which boggles my mind.
So he has an ability to tap, add a green and a blue. Spends mana only to cast spells with mana value 5 or greater, or spells with X in their mana cost. And then for blue and a tap, draw a card, then discard.
Okay.
However, we know where he comes from because of his flavor text. The streets of Ravnica were stifling. Eldraine is an endless adventure paved in gold. So proof that not just the main characters are using the Omen paths. Gnawing Crescendo. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies this turn, create a 1/1 black rat creature token with this creature can't block. Frostbridge Guard. Just tap. A Charmed Clothier. Once again, they've got the fairies that seem to be more wisps than anything else. Flying, when Charmed Clothier enters the battlefield, create a Royal Roll token attached to another target creature you control. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has Ward, is what the Royal Roll does. It's a Scream Puff!
A what?
Not a cream puff, it's a scream puff. It's 4 and black it's a horror. For a death touch, whenever scream puff deals combat damage to a player, create a food.
Nice.
There we go.
Oh, that's quite an attractive little art piece there. Big giant.
Oozing thing.
Yeah.
Alright. So, I believe it's time to see whether or not our card is going to be a fake or fable. And this time we have the Horned Lock Whale. Okay. It's a Horned Lock Whale. It's a whale. It costs 4 and 2 blue. It has Flash, Ward 2, and Horned Lock Whale enters the battlefield tapped unless it's your turn.
Huh.
It's a 6/6 for 6. Lagoon Breach for 1 and a blue is its adventure. The owner of target attacking creature you don't control puts it on the top or bottom of their library.
Ooh.
Okay, that's an interesting fact.
And, of course, the art style is, of course, in the adventure storybook art. But that is our Horned Lock Whale. It is Flash Ward 2 and enters the battlefield tapped unless it's your turn. So, tell me, do you think this is a fake or a fable? Put down your vote.
Yep.
And starting with Trent.
I'm gonna go fake. I feel like whales, to the best of my knowledge, are in a bunch of different but it sounds more like a narwhal, and I'm like, I don't remember narwhals ever actually being in any stories.
Well, if you want, you can. Do you want me to pass you the card so you can get a better look at the art?
Yeah, that's definitely a narwhal.
Narwhals.
Trying to eat a griffin, which I think is just, aiming high. Aim for the sun.
Well, I think that's the point. The whale aims for the sun and gets the griffin.
Yep.
All right.
Well, to me, it just sounded like something Kukulane fought to earn his title as a hero.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say it's a fable because I think they were aiming for a smaller version of Monstro,
Oh yeah.
the whale from Pinocchio.
I was trying to avoid that reference, but sure.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is you've got, yes, it's in a lock which is smaller, but it to me it sort of seems like that's what they were going for. They were going for the evolution of Monstro, and there aren't many whales in many fables that I can think of off the top of my head. Most of them tend to involve forests, or if it's got rivers, then it's got kelpies and things like that. And
I think I missed the clear problem here, that it's a monster that's lockbound. Clearly, it's a reference to Nessie.
Oh yeah. But is Nessie a whale?
Nessie is frequently depicted as a plesiosaur.
Oh yeah, it's got a long neck.
I mean, that isn't to say it's wrong. I mean, on Eldraine, this is 100% could be Nessie.
Maybe Nessie's a dragon.
Maybe Nessie actually is a whale with horns. But with that, I believe we have some disparity between the scores.
Yep.
Just like you asked, not rigged.
Yeah, totally not rigged, I swear. By that, I mean it actually isn't rigged. But with that, Rod,
Oh yes.
you get a point. Congrats.
Yes, the
And
I'm not a
you may
crook statement.
take your delicious point.
Alright. Always butter side down.
Always eat it butter side down.
You get perpetual motion.
Put it like that.
Yeah, and then it just keeps going round and round and round. Alright, so once again we're going around the table and we have Trent up next.
Okay.
To quote Rick and Morty, show us what you got.
Very cute little rat guy.
Ah,
Very cute little rat guy.
oh, I just realised on the back of my food was a mouse. A blind mouse.
Asinine antics. It's full art. Look at.
We can't see it.
I know. I'm building suspense.
Can't even see
It's
the
like-
asinine.
It's a clear reference to Mixfiddleic, fairy godmothers, changing people into animals. That one. And
Mr.
then-
Mixes Pidlick.
Yeah. And then
Oh, we have
Ooh.
the alternate art Ashiok.
Nice.
Nice.
manipulator. That's gorgeous. A Sir Ginger.
Oh,
from
hey.
the original Eldraine
Teaser trailer.
yeah.
Oh, yes, yes.
The one who saw her husband die and is like, vengeance will be mine.
As you do.
Yeah. Against Grook.
Pollen Shield.
Wait, Garruk?
Pollen Shield.
Garrick.
Yeah. No, like, wait, Garruk ate the gingerbread man?
No, the gingerbread man attacked him stretching my memory, attacked him and he crushed him.
Enchanted Tales Compulsion.
Oh.
That's a nice one. Oh, foil. Utopia Sprawl.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's... I don't want to say it's a much needed reprint, but it is a reprint that many people would like.
Yeah.
Another Island.
Nice.
Threadbare Click. Destroy target tapped creature for 2/1 white. 3/1, 3 and a blue, 3/3 white. It's not bad.
I think it was supposed to be a reference to Puppeteer Click and all the others, but
Stroke Midnight. Which she's dropped some sort of... It looks like a helm rather than a shoe. It's very unclear from the art, but that does appear to be a helm.
Oh.
Woodland Acolyte. Water Wings.
you mean floaties, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I think it's more supposed to be wings that are made of water.
Rather than floaties.
Hey, safety first, even in Eldraine.
Toadstool Admirer. Or 2.
Yep.
Or 2 and a comment, I thought.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Unruly Catapult, which just makes me happy.
Because a catapult can be unruly.
Yeah, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, untap Unruly. That is a storm card if ever I saw one.
Yep.
And then Freeze in Place. There's going to be another reference to Hilda.
Hilda.
I'm getting the sense we shouldn't expect a warm welcome. Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah. Good job there, Kel. Tap target creature, put 3 stun counters on it, scry 2. Wow, that's a strong effect for
Yeah.
2 mana.
I know we're not in December yet, so the song doesn't make much sense. But I'm Mr. Snow Miser. I'm Mr.
Okay. Our fake or fable card is Leyline of Lightning.
Uh,
I almost lost my mic.
Draw again.
Yeah. Well, we have to sort of go through it. The problem with Leyline of Lightning is that we're pretty clear that it's not. But as some of the other enchantments have shown us, that they can have storybook origins. So I think it'll probably be unanimous. But I can hope and dream because that's the kind of person I am. So has everyone picked theirs?
Yep.
All right, we'll go around the table, starting with Trent to throw things off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Fable. I know that I'm probably gonna be the odd one out. But ley lines are such a prolific part of magical stories that elemental ley lines there's gonna have to be at some point a magical ley line that throws lightning. Either by it being a ley line of lightning, or someone disrupting the ley line and causing horrible elemental storms. Yeah.
Yep. I just think it looks like a set piece from like a Disney movie. Because there's always a mountain,
Fire.
like a lightning striking something and just being...
There's always fire in the climax.
There's always firemen, there's always lightning bolts splitting the tree and the character going, can't go there.
I'm also going to say that it's fake just because I've seen the card. I can't think of anything that it could be referencing. I agree that ley lines do play a part in Fables and everything, but I think that's more tenuous connection to, than anything else, because you've got a mountain that seems to be being split open by a lightning bolt. And if I was a bit more confident, I could say that it was a Fable and say it was monkey.
Oh, the Saruman.
But I don't. Yeah, there's not enough there. Sorry.
Yeah.
And with that, I believe Rod steams ahead because we have 2 fakes.
Alright. Tapping into greater unconscious. Or I'm just really hungry.
Yeah, or you're just really hungry.
Alright. Let's go this one.
You sure? Is that the right card?
Nope. I picked it because it was wrong.
Okay. Glad to see we cleared that up.
I do like that this is the nicest depiction of a Dwarf's Forge for the treasure token.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, that is nice.
Alright. So we have Talion's Messenger, who gives you, whenever you attack with one or more fairies, draw a card, then discard a card. When you discard a card this way, put a +1/+1 counter on target fairy control. So, always good to have a fairy lord that lets you draw cards.
Well, I believe that's, I think, one of the characters from the commander deck.
No, it's got the set symbol.
No. The guy that they.
Oh, Talion.
Talion. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Oh, so like.
I think they're one of the cards from the commander set.
Cool. So we've got the beanstalk from the famous Jack and the Beanstalk.
Ah.
So enters the battlefield tapped. He makes green or blue. I don't get the blue part.
They probably needed to fill gaps, unfortunately, in colour pie.
I suppose. I mean, if you also want to stretch, it can see far.
Maybe a Simic reference of exponential growth.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Growth spiral and exponential
Okay,
growth.
that
Both Simic.
So for 3, a green and a blue, until end of turn, it becomes...
Quandric. Quandric cards.
Yeah, Quandrix.
Simic. Simic.
So for 3 green and blue, it becomes a 5/5 green and blue plant creature with trample. It's still a land. And whenever it attacks, up to one other type creature that has base... up to one other type creature has base power and toughness. 3/3 till end of turn. Okay, so yeah, that's a very Simic effect.
So it gives something 3/3.
3/3 base.
Yeah.
I'm thinking there's probably a land cycle of attack lands.
There is.
There is.
In Zendikar.
Oh no, I mean in this
Yeah.
particular
Oh,
set.
okay.
Like, I miss them. I miss manlands.
They were okay.
I miss them.
They were okay.
So Spectre of Mortality, as opposed to the Spectre of Immortality.
Well, Spectre of Mortality is one we've seen before.
Yes.
That's just a fuller art.
Hang on.
Nice.
Wasn't Will one of the Planeswalkers?
Yes.
So
he got
we-
desparked.
He got
along with his-
desparked into becoming the Sign of Peace.
Yeah, so Will and Rowan were unique in that they were twins that shared a single spark.
Yeah.
And they got desparked in Day of M. Sorry, I keep making X-Men.
Arcana.
You
No, I
you
keep making X-Men references.
just called Day of P. Day of Planeswalkers.
Yeah, they got desparked, and
During the March of the Machines.
yeah, and so they're now Will is like, great, now I have to fill my dad's shoes, and Rowan's like, I'm out.
Well,
I'm
that's,
going into the wilds.
I'm out of yo.
that's pretty much on flavor for red and blue. So one.
Blue have to pick up all the leftovers from red.
And then, well, I mean, unless you're Izzet, in which case Izzet is just like, why are we gonna pick up our own stuff?
What do you mean, is it? Do you mean Prismari?
No. Prismari focus on treasures. Izzet focus on cards.
Yep. So tapped. So it's got 2/4 for 3 with vigilance, and tapped spells you cast this turn are that are white and or blue cost X less to cast, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. Activate only as a sorcery.
Okay.
I always love any spells that let me discount other spells.
Well, yeah.
So we have another Utopia Sprawl, and a card and an uncommon that's jumped up to $10 recently.
Oh, okay.
Impact Tremors.
Why?
It's a very good card for tokens.
And this set is full of tokens.
So, like, have you ever played Perforos? Would you like Perforos on an enchantment? Then play Impact Tremors.
I don't play red.
Well, that's your problem. Yeah, but for one on red, whenever a creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. That's a pretty good card.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a new swamp.
Oh, yeah, the mangrove swamp.
The mangrove swamp. I like the mushroom hut in the background.
I don't know.
Oh, for a second I read that as Tattered Rat, not Tattered Ratter.
Oh, okay.
So apparently, being a rat catcher is a career path in Eldraine.
Yes.
Well, with the prevalence of rats in black in this particular set so far, yeah, I imagine that being a rat catcher might be a stable profession.
So,
Especially if you're from a town of, Tamlin. Pied Piper of Tamlin? Yeah, okay.
but this one helps the rats. Whenever a rat you control becomes blocked, it gains +2/+0 till end of turn.
That sounds about right for the
Pied Piper of Tamlin.
But I love the fact that the Pied Piper is not a title but a profession. It could happen to anyone. Could have done the same shit he'd done.
Well, okay. So rat catchers were prevalent during the era that Eldraine is set in, so that makes sense. But being a Pied Piper was also because they were traveling. I don't want to say minstrel, but they were.
Well, it mostly came from the fact that you would, rather than actually giving them gold, give them baked goods in exchange for their services.
Yeah, because they, and so it makes having in the Pied Piper of Hamelin, they have the Pied Piper as a. All right, moving on. I'm clearly
I don't know who Gadwick.
picking at threads here.
I don't know who Gadwick is, but apparently he dueled somebody.
Who?
Gadwick.
Gadwick's first duel.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's his first duel, so...
It didn't go very well.
Unlike his
It was his first and last, by the way.
Well, it doesn't. We'll find out what the last one's later. But I do like this collector's bolt. It's got very what's that Ghibli movie with the tiny people who go collecting?
You mean The Borrowers?
The Borrowers.
Which isn't a Ghibli movie, but I know which one you're talking about, but I'm refusing to acknowledge its existence because it's very clearly The Borrowers.
Well, he did say that a lot of his other films were based off like fairy tales. After Grave of the Fireflies.
Well, The Borrowers was based on the
Yeah. People forget about that one.
I'm not saying anything.
Keep going.
Anyway, the Fell Horseman, who's clearly a reference to the Disney character.
Oh, you're talking about Ichabod Crane, aren't you? The Headless Horse?
The Headless Horseman, that's what I was thinking of.
Headless Horseman and Ichabod Crane.
Except he's still got his head attached, so he's a shit Headless Horseman.
Or he's a very good one and didn't lose his head.
What the? The Mintrosity.
Nice.
Oh!
That is a very apt name if I ever saw one.
And I love that it's a horror. Oh, this is... Somehow, I didn't know it existed, but I needed this in my life.
I love the fact that it's a 3/1, so it feels very on brand to being very, very brittle. Because mint's not a very good building material.
No. It's made of
Ferocious Werefox, so we finally got... Oh, it's an elf fox.
Oh.
So apparently lycanthropy is not just to humans.
It's... Oh, cool.
I don't know, I always associated werewolfism with only humans.
Well, I mean, in Native American traditions, there's the wolf were, which is a wolf that walks in the shape of man. So, I mean,
Yeah, but I love the fact that the adventurer gives a monster roll to a creature, and then it becomes a 4/3 with trample. So like I love it when flavor and rules
Cards align.
and cooped up. A nice pacifism effect. Except you can pay 1 and 2 to exile the enchanted creature.
Oh, yeah, but you control it, so you can... Oh, okay. It's not bad.
Yeah, so it's just you're putting down payment for an exile effect.
Yeah.
All right. So now for our
Yep, show us the card.
fake or fable, we have Intruder Alarm.
Wow.
Leyline of Lightning.
Okay, but this one, I think we're gonna base it off the art of
Oh, yeah, we're basing it off the art. We know what the card does.
like of a dude looking at a well, I think it's the Council of Fae.
Oh, the Seelie and Unseelie courts.
Yes.
Oh wow, yeah, that's. Okay, I'm just gonna make that into frame. Yeah. So there's this center character here with the.
I actually... Wait, are those spotlights?
They look like pillars.
Ah.
I think
these two here
Yeah.
are pillars.
Oh, okay.
But there's like writing, it looks like, in the background.
Because I thought that would be very funny if they were... Oh, yeah, they're pillars. Oh, okay, yep. So, yeah, this... So you've got, like, little Fae all up and around, and you've got 2 pillars on either side. Alright. Everyone, get ready to vote. Alright. Starting with... Yeah, sure. We'll start with Rod.
All right. I'm gonna say it's Fae. I feel it's more like a story moment than an actual fable. Because there's always that moment in like movies and stories where they think they snuck in and everyone's just staring around me like, we were expecting you.
the Bond villain turns around and goes, "We've been expecting you, Mr. Bond."
Exactly. Or just the shadowy government just looking at you.
The Council of Shadowy Figures.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to say that this is a fable, because this is clearly the Seelie and Unseelie courts. But, if people want me to be more specific, I could point to the more recent example of Pan's Labyrinth, where, especially because of the art, you've got a very sort of nice look at the character, which you could consider to be Pan, and then you got the Seelie and Unseelie courts. Trent?
Yeah, I'm going with Fable. I think it's too clear a reference to the Unseelie Court and Mab being Queen of Shadows and Ice. Like it feels so predominantly that it's like this is the fake courts.
You can tell who doesn't know what the Celia.
It's also known as the court of, what is it, of winter and summer.
Oh, okay. Still don't
There
know who
used to
they
be
are.
courts of spring and autumn until they got destroyed by the other 2 courts.
I like to think of it as corporate restructuring. And
Mab does not suffer fools lightly.
You have been out.
until she gets hit by cheese. A wheel of cheese.
Med B.
Alright, and with that, Trent now is catching up.
Ooh.
So, I think we're getting close.
$1 bill, yeah. I'm catching up.
Oh God. Will the punditry ever cease?
No. Not while I'm still alive.
That's what you think. Alright, so I've put 1 card aside, and we've got another food. And since people keep looking at the back, it's a treasure, but we have a food! Oh, it's the same one. Never mind. I don't care. I've got a nice little collection of food down
I'm
here.
pretty sure there's only 3.
We have a Spiteful Hexmage again.
Nice.
A beautiful looking Leyline of the Void.
Oh. Nice.
Much needed reprint.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, I believe the last one was, 2012 or something? Oh, wait, no, it was a lot sooner than that. 2019, think. Like M19.
It was OG Ravnica, and then
Yep. We have a Regal Bunnycorn.
Okay.
It's a rabbit unicorn.
As all
It costs one and
rabbits should be.
a white and has no power or toughness. Regal Bunnycorn's power and toughness are equal to the number of non-land permanents you control.
Okay.
That's actually kind of interesting.
yeah.
And we have a Beseech the Mirror, because last set we had Beseech the Queen. Well, I mean, we've had Beseech the Queen from Lorwyn, and now we've got Beseech the Mirror. It costs 1 and 3 black. It's a sorcery with bargain. Search your library for a card, exile it face down, then shuffle. If this spell was bargained, you may cast the exile card without paying its mana cost if that spell's mana is 4 or less. Put the exiled card into your hand if it wasn't cast this way. So you get a free card, and if you bargained, you get to cast it for free as long as it costs 4 or less. It's pretty cool. A foil Stab Wound. Another Hatching Plans. A lovely looking swamp. Twisted Fealty is gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste till end of turn. Standard. And create a Wicked Roll token attached up to one target creature. Okay. Tenacious Tomeseeker, Human Knight with bargain. When Tenacious Tomeseeker enters the battlefield, if it was bargained, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Shrouded Shepherd, with the Cleave Shadows for 1 and a black. With creatures your opponents control, get -1/-1 till end of turn. And when it enters the battlefield, target creature you control gets +2/+2. Moment of Valor, which is just removal. Barrow Naughty. Barrow Naughty has lifelink as long as you control another fairy. Other than that, it's pretty mediocre. Torch the Tower, where clearly we're just gonna burn stuff.
That's
Have a look at the art on that one.
Yep, it's beautiful art.
felt cute. My burn a tower.
And a Candy Trail. When Candy Trail enters the battlefield, scry 2. You can pay 2 and tap it to sacrifice it to gain 3 life and draw a card.
For a second I heard Candy Trial,
Trial by Candy.
I think
which is
the art on this is spectacular, but I think that it's a slight misstep. Like this with this like
Nice swirling effect.
red blue swell. Like this clearly, like this really could have been the dragon from Relentless Spire and have them sort of
Just feed off each other.
yeah.
And now for a
yes.
Fake or Fable card. A Bramble Familiar. Now, for those of you who can't quite see, it's taking the Bramble Familiar seems to be taking the form of a raccoon. Its adventure is called Fetch Quest.
Okay.
Mill 7 cards, then put a creature, enchantment, or land card from among the milled cards onto the battlefield. It costs 2, and if it's an elemental raccoon, then you can tap it to add 1 green, pay 1 and a green to tap it to discard a card, and return Bramble Familiar to its owner's hand. So you can cast Fetch Quest, get Bramble Familiar, and then you can get it back from the graveyard into your hand. You can keep cycling it.
Nice.
Great.
Alright.
So, once more, let's see if people think it's a fake or a fable. So, put down your card, and let's go. We'll start with
Cool.
Rod.
Alright. So everyone's heard the famous German folk tale of Das Rubbish Eater, which is clearly that's made up as the German name I just came up with.
Well, yes, because Germans don't have Ita in the end.
I don't know. I'm not very good with my German.
Das rubbish normal.
Das rubbish nom.
Das Rubbish nom nom nom. But
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have to go with Fable. I think that it's. I know that Nico might not necessarily have strong ties to the Pocahontas story, but I can't picture any other version of Pocahontas that doesn't have that little raccoon with Mother Oak, and I think it's a bit of a reference to both the raccoon familiar of Pocahontas and Mother Oak at the same time.
Well, conversely, I'm saying Fable. I was originally going to go with fake, but the problem is that I can think of too many stories that have some sort of familiar. One made out of brambles, I want to say yes. I mean, you've got the story of Briar Rabbit, where he made the tar baby that had brambles. And then you've got a number of others which, like you've got, in Japan, you've got, what's it called?
the Tanuki,
No, you've got Momotaro. And a few others.
the boy from the peach.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because he went to kill ogres and he had the bird, the dog, and the monkey.
Monkey, pheasant, dog.
Yeah. There's a number that have
I wonder
familiars.
if dog is more of a translation from Tanuki.
No,
Because
No,
Tanuki is so
he was a
frequently called raccoon dog.
Well,
yes.
yeah, but that's a mistranslation on the English side. 'Cause
Well, that's what I mean.
That's Tanuki, and in Momotaro it's specifically Inu.
Like he was a Shiba Inu depicted in the art.
Okay.
But yeah, there's enough familiars and fables that I'm like, maybe not necessarily a raccoon, but definitely.
That being said, there's a lot of woodland critters. I know quite a few of them are raccoons, but they often tend to be depicted as the antagonists to the story.
I want. I don't.
Especially
know.
for like Mr. Fox stories.
It's because they look like bandits. I'm pretty sure. I'm
Yes.
pretty sure it's all about that.
It's 2022. Let's stop persecuting the raccoons.
Yes, equal representation for all raccoons.
Not all raccoons.
It's what is it? All raccoons are not thieves.
So we've got a new food token to add to.
My ever-growing collection of food
Food.
tokens.
For all your commander decks.
Oh yes, all 20 of them.
There's enough cards for them now.
I'll put that one there. This is a fake or fable. We'll go. Harried Spearguard. Looks like it's someone fighting off rats rather than assisting the rats. Living lectern. I love the art on this. It's just wonderful.
Oh, that's perfect. That's like Cody, the Living Codex or whatever.
So living lectern, one, a generic and a blue. One, sacrifice living lectern, draw a card, create a sorcerer role token, attach it to one of your creatures you control, activate only as a sorcery. Well, it'd be odd that you're creating a sorcerer at instant speed. Sorcerer role is if you control another role on it, put one in the graveyard. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has whenever this attacks, scry one.
Awesome.
Brave the Wilds. This is beautiful reference to Red Riding Hood.
Oh yeah.
I believe that was also one of the art and name of the cards that they kept touting before they released the cards, because they were like, come into the wilds with us.
Bargain. You may sacrifice an artifact or an enchantment or token to cast a spell. If the spell was bargained, target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature and has haste. Search your library for a basic land, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. So a bit of a stopgap land. It's cheap enough that it's an interesting card. Witch's Mark. Wow, in the foil this one stands out.
Ooh. I don't like how it looks like a goat.
Oh, there's someone underneath there.
Oh, is
Wow. Wow, that's that art just gets better the more you look at it.
Was I misreading it?
You may discard a card if you do. Draw 2 cards, so a rummage, sort of a rummage effect.
Yep.
Create a Wicked Roll token attached to 1 creature, which is when this aura is put into the graveyard, each opponent loses 1 life.
Okay.
I think they're worth a bit more. Fairy Dream Thief.
Oh, there's someone reflected in the no.
So there's like the eyes up the top, but then
Yeah, and then you've got the queen.
and then the helmets going on.
Oh, I see. So she's turning him into the Black Knight or whatever.
Or the big bad wolf.
Yeah. Oh, I like it.
Eerie Interference, another sort of Port of Fey looking.
Thing.
Prevent all damage that would be dealt to you and creatures you control by fog. An instant fog for 2 and a white. That's
nice.
An instant
really
fog. Okay.
We haven't seen this in a while.
No, it's because
Swarm Piper. Warlock Bard. For my
I like
another
that.
card to add to my Bard Tribal.
5-color bards.
Oh wow, that mountain's gorgeous in the
Yep.
foil.
Nice.
It's the mines.
Raid Bombardment.
Ooh.
I like the art on that. I like
Yeah.
the sort of cut out whatever child.
Ground Seal. 1 in green. Enter battlefield, draw a card. Cards in graveyards can't be the target of spells or abilities. Very niche, I think, but Nameless Night of Summer is the reference. They laid her to rest in the wilds in a sacred place beyond the reach of nightmares or machines. Ooh, that's
double loaded.
another Scolding Viper. Song of Totenzen. Bit of a
Torstensen?
Pied- Yeah, a bit of a Pied Piper reference. Blood Moon.
Ooh.
Oh! What's funny is they've reprinted enough that it's not that hard to find, but it's still only used in very few modern decks.
Oh, wow. Leyline of Abundance
Ooh, nice.
in foil.
Ah, getting all the ley lines.
Yep. I think you've gotten everything except for blue.
Yeah, everything except for the ley line of anticipation.
Look, it's just going to build the anticipation.
Got to tap into that.
Yeah, it's going to build the anticipation, and we'll tell you what the rest of the ley line is next episode. And so our fake or fable card is Gumdrop Prisoner. Very
Ooh.
complicated art here.
I love it.
So Gumdrop Poisoner, sorry, not
Oh.
Prisoner. Gumdrop Poisoner.
Makes more sense.
2 generic and a green. Creature Human Warlock. Has Adventure Tempt with Treats for 1 black creative food token. The creature ability is Lifelink. When Gumdrop Poisoner enters the battlefield, up to 1 target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. So it's sort of a food payoff card.
Nice.
Okay.
So you just crack all your food at once and then...
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
That would go really well in my tea drinker deck.
Oh yeah, Soul Steeper. Yep.
Alright.
Alright.
Yep.
Time for... Is it a fake or is it a fable?
I have.
Oh.
And we'll
Oh,
start...
the art. No.
I know. No. I've seen the art. It's gorgeous.
It's complicated.
I just love that it's got this beautiful hair tendrils and it's just got the just one arm just been like tossing out the candy.
Yeah, it sort of reminds me of one of the later printings of Grimm's Fairy Tales, where they just did all the sort of, not the woodblock, but they did proper art.
Yep.
So starting with me, I'm going to say it's a fake. I can't think of anything that has to do with living lollies and all that kind. No. I mean, there's
Not the Gumdrop buttons.
that.
Do we start getting copyright strike for singing "Need a Hero"?
If you sing a few bars of it, yes. I'm not paying royalties on that. But yeah, I can't think of anything where you have literal living things of lollies that are antagonists or protagonists. Well, protagonists possibly, but antagonists not really. So I'm calling it a fake.
I'm going with Fable. I think it's absolutely an extension of Hansel and Gretel of like the
The candy is come
that-
for revenge.
well,
The
no,
Greteling.
it's sort of like they were such in a dire strait and went and found this candy house, and it was like this delicious food became poison because they got trapped by the witch for eating it.
Oh, so
So
you-
I'm thinking,
You're going more along the lines of the name of the card and what it does, rather than okay.
Yeah. Like I'd say, just like Trent said, I feel like this is an early iteration of Hansel and Gretel, because a lot of fairy tales were based off stories on being like, "Don't go into the woods, children, you'll get eaten by a wolf. Don't take candy from strangers, they'll poison it." So I feel it does tap into that kind of zeitgeist.
That's psychosis.
Yeah, very psychosis. Ooh, hello.
Hello, my baby.
I actually saw one card.
So
Since I saw it,
you're
I
gonna
might,
spoil it for us.
so I might as well just put it as a Fable card.
What? No.
Yes, because I get to pick from 1 to 3, and it was 1.
Why? What? No. You
Yes, I do.
pick randomly.
I did. I
picked
pick
random.
1.
You pick randomly. The one that I have seen, I will pick.
Well, it'll be random for you guys.
That's
it's random start player is determined by Trent.
So we got a bird.
boy.
Just a bird.
I
Is
heard
it so
it's
you
a
can
word.
flick it at people?
Yeah, give him the bird.
Well, I have heard that if you give people the bird, then that is the word.
So this is a very can card. Phyrexian Unlife.
Ooh. I mean, the problem with Phyrexian Unlife
But
is it
look
can't really... I know.
But look
It's-
at the art.
The art is amazing, but the problem with Phyrexian Unlife is you can't really stick it in anything because there isn't that many decks that can make use for it. On top of it, it's white, and most Phyrexians aren't really white.
Elish Norn disagrees.
Elish Norn disagrees, but Elish Norn also... There is other stuff you're playing not Phyrexian Unlife in Elish Norn.
Anyway,
Yes, mummy.
I think it's Yas,
big
Mummy.
steppy mummy. So I love that the Virtue of Knowledge has the montage of going through the library to find the book.
Well, that is the virtue of knowledge, right?
Yeah, so 4 and a blue for a enchantment. If permanent enters the battlefield, a trigger ability of permanent you control. Yeah, I can English.
Just do it in Spanish and we'll be
If-
fine.
If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a trigger ability of a permanent you control to trigger, it triggers an additional time.
Ooh, in blue this time.
So for 1 of blue, you get an instant which says copy target activate or trigger ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. So this is gonna go.
That sounds dangerous.
This is gonna go mysteriously missing into my pockets.
No. That, yeah, no, that sounds like a dangerous card in blue.
Yeah. Ooh. I love this commander card. Elevere of the Wild Court.
Oh, yeah, that's the face card.
Yeah, I love it. Like the little woodland critters.
Is that from the command?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the face card for the... So there are two commander decks. You've got fairies and you've got enchantments, and
Yeah, this one.
they're the front card for the enchantments.
So when she enters the battlefield or attacks, create a virtuous roll token attached to another creature you control. And whenever an enchanted creature you control deals damage to a player, draw a card. For a 4-cost 4/4. That's pretty good. She does.
I mean,
She's her own payoff.
whilst I am enjoying this role mechanic, for every token that we've opened so far, I've not seen a single
Roll token.
roll, and I feel like that might be a misstep.
So I believe that each roll token contains 2 rolls on it.
Yeah, like it's like the flip
But
card.
yeah, I agree. We haven't seen any.
Well, I'm pretty sure with the pre-release pack you'll get all the roll cards.
So that's potentially they're expecting everyone to either get the gift set, which will probably have them, or the pre-release.
Or maybe
token.
just not the collectors, because the collectors just want the actual cards, not the tokens as much.
No, yeah, but they still want the tokens, because...
Anyway,
It'd get you your foil rolls.
Yeah.
Which Yeah, be sought after.
Heal this Crown of Winter.
Ooh.
So 3-cost legendary artifact. 1, tap and tap target creature. This ability costs 1 less to activate during your turn. Pretty good.
Okay.
3 and sacrifice it. Draw a card for each tap creature your opponent controls.
Okay.
Okay.
It does play well with all the
Hilda cards, yeah.
all the Hilda cards and all the stun counters. And one of my favorite cards, Garruk's Uprising.
Ooh.
I do like the flat fairy tale art.
Yeah, I think that looks really cool.
Shame he wasn't seen ever again. Seasons of Growth with the little woodland critters.
Well, who's the current green planeswalker? Because
Viv-
Cameo.
Vivian.
Pardon?
Vivian Reed.
Oh, Nissa, of course. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Vivian Reed, who is quote unquote not Nissa, but she's Nissa. No, she's Guruk.
She's
not
not
Guruk,
not
but
Guruk.
she is Guruk.
she has her own pack.
Okay, that's.
Except that they don't live inside of her, unlike Garruk.
Didn't Zermanone gain Spark, or is she the only one that didn't from those students from Strixhaven?
Simone?
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think she gained a spark. I thought the only one who gained a spark was the Loxodon.
So, and a nice
Stop Boros hate.
a nice health.
Yep.
Dwarf
Mountain.
mountain. Dwarf, not elf.
The elves hate you for saying that, and so did the dwarves.
They can come fight me.
They will.
Elvira, Dreaming Duelist. Yeah, look, I'll fight the dwarves in the beach and I'll fight the elves in the mountains. I'll be right.
Yeah.
Taken by Nightmares. Ooh, that is definitely a very Taken by Nightmares art. It's just
If you have nightmares, we've got them.
yeah. Just take them away from. We got too many in our warehouse.
The flavor text on this one is just brutal. Dying in your sleep is never peaceful when Ashok is involved.
That is very on brand though.
Oh yeah.
We got a Hearth Elemental, so we finally got the fire thing from House Moving Castle.
Calcifer.
Calcifer. He's got a card. Rowan screams.
The fireplace is enchanted from Beauty and the Beast.
Ooh. Rowan screams search. I love the. Ooh. I like the little purple spirits. So you can draw 2 cards, lose 2 life, and you can bargain to look at top, to rearrange your top deck.
Cool.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like to rearrange their top deck?
Okay. Ooh, Scarecrow Guide.
Hey, another Scarecrow for my never-to-be completed Scarecrow deck.
It just does the. Oh, but this one costs 1 to add 1 mana of any color.
Yeah, there's a few that do that.
But you can only do it once per turn.
Oh, no, it's that one. It's just a reprint.
Yeah.
Scarecrow Guide.
No, that's a reprint?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember.
It's from Eldraine.
Oh, that's what I don't remember. That was ages ago. Considered Witch, which is clearly the Wicked Witch.
She's not wicked, she's just misunderstood.
We're not going by the Wicked rules.
Does she have the wicked roll? No, then she can't clear.
No. Actually, no. She creates the Wicked roll,
Yeah,
Right.
so, yep. No, she's wicked.
but
Witch.
she bestows the Wicked roll.
So she's not wicked herself, she's just like, you're evil now.
This is retiring Wicked Witch of the West. She's finding an apprentice.
We're just gonna pause and go to our Patreon only part and go. Are we renaming the card Cancel Culture? Because it's like, oh no, that over there, that's wicked.
Oh. Unfortunately, we don't have a Patreon only part.
We do have an OnlyFans.
Strangely, it's just pictures of fans.
We got the Dyson and we got the...
Well, I've got the Mexican version, which is only flans.
Isn't that the dessert version? Only
Yes.
flans?
Yeah, exactly. Flan is a popular dish in Mexico.
Okay.
It's
Fake or Fable
also,
card now.
I believe it's also popular in Japan, only they call it something else.
It's pudding. It's not flan.
Pudding.
Puri.
Okay, so we finally got our first special foil.
Ooh. Oh, the
The confetti.
The
yeah.
confetti of Karmic Justice.
Oh, okay, Comic Justice again.
But look, I don't know if the camera will do justice to it.
I don't think it will, because...
But if everyone else looks at it close, you can see the confetti.
Oh, wow. And it's got the anime
Yep.
art stylings.
Yeah.
It's catching some of it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Maybe the one with the ring light might catch it.
Ah, my mistake. This isn't Pokemon from... This is Pokemon from much later.
Yeah, because Pokemon foiling was pretty dull back in the day.
Well, Pokemon foiling originally was just a giant dots
Yeah.
on it. And then they got smaller and smaller. But yeah, this is... Actually, this camera is picking it up. You can sort of see the confetti. I'm not a big fan of it. It's
I like it.
fine.
At least they're trying something different.
Oh, yeah, but they're going to keep doing that.
Well, I mean, they're going to do something different if you pay $20 extra a card. Search foil.
Oh.
Oof.
I think what annoyed me the most was March of the Machine, where they had really, really beautiful, unique art for each of the Praetors. Only in one of the 500
Yeah.
special ones. So that means that unless you got one of 500 printed only, you're not going to see that special art, which is annoying because the art is beautiful.
Just because you have a thing for Eldraine.
Hey, and Jingataxis. All right, ready?
Yep.
We'll start with Trent.
Okay, I'm going to get raked across the coals for this one, but this is Fable.
Oh,
That art is absolutely depicting the battle between Gawain and the Green Knight.
oh, I forgot about that.
It is clearly,
It is very clearly.
supposed to be Gawain and the Green Knight. So I am losing a point on this one, but I'm taking the moral high ground that is absolutely Gawain.
Because that's the end. That's where he finishes the trip to the Green Knight to have his head.
Yeah, and then the Green Knight joins forces because he realizes that he's willing to sacrifice.
Rather than try and weasel out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Rod,
Hey.
is it too late to change my vote now?
No.
Rod?
Yeah, I just don't remember the exact sample, so I'm glad someone knew the moment.
Well, I'm an idiot because I totally didn't see it until it was pointed out to me. And then I'm like, wait, that actually is the Green Knight. That is amazing, and if I could, I would take a point off myself because that is exactly what is depicted. And you're not going to get raked over the coals. The only time you'd probably get raked over the coals is people go, no, that's historical fact and it's not fiction. But no. With that, both of you can take your point and
Yep.
eat it.
Just eat it?
Don't make me repeat it. Alright. So, it looks like we had some... there was a bit of a difference that sparked up there, and now somehow the scores have evened out again. So clearly, the only one who's losing here is the host. Me! Fun on the bun. So, once more, I'm going to take a random card. It's going to be Hugh. Put it aside. And flip it over. And we have another food. But does this one have... Oh, it's got the beautiful beast token that everyone's really talking about. I don't know how to feel about this because I don't like the token, but the art itself is really beautiful and reminiscent of...
the tapestries?
yeah, the Renaissance... Not Renaissance, what was it before Renaissance? The...
Romance?
Was it the Romance period? I can't remember.
Yeah, that's really sort of...
Yeah.
Reinterpretation of like tapestry art.
Like, I'd even say that's equivalent to Hieronymus Bosch, but not really. We have a gumdrop prisoner. Goody. Poisoner.
It really does sort of, you crack it open and you're like, oh, that's the gumdrop poisoner. Because you sort of, I don't know, the art is so complicated.
But at the same time, it's also a matter of, reading it.
Apparently, reading the card explains the card, even in the title.
We have anime art repercussion.
Nice.
Okay. That's cool. Lady of Laughter, which is a fairy noble. She has flying and celebration. At the beginning of your end step, if 2 or more non-land permanents enter the battlefield under your control this turn, draw a card on white.
Nice.
Okay.
That's
Another Spectre of Mortality.
That's a needed mechanic in white. I'm looking forward to more celebration. If that's going to be a white staple.
I believe celebration is just if 2 or more permanents enter the battlefield. Intangible Virtue, which I think is an underrated card, but apparently I can't fit it in any of my decks. Another Vampiric Rites. Beautiful looking forest right here. Chancellor of Tales, Fairy Advisor. Whenever you cast an adventure spell, you may copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy, because that didn't cause issues in last Eldraine. The Princess Takes Flight.
Okay.
Literally or figuratively?
Literally.
It's gonna be figurative because they mean like
Running away.
flee
Yeah.
more than anything else.
Well, both, because apparently she's on a unicorn Pegasus.
Oh.
Alicorn.
A Pegacorn. Exile up to 1 target creature. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains flying until end of turn. Return the exiled card to the battlefield under its own control.
Oh.
That's a weird one. I like it. It's weird. Monstrous Rage. Yep. Slumbering Keep Knight. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. Slumbering Keep Guard gets +1/+1 till end of turn for each enchantment you control if you play 3. Voracious Vermin. So rats are back. In rat form. A much needed reprint of Sleight of Hand.
Nice.
I believe the last time was, I want to say 5th edition or something. I can't remember, but Sleight of Hand, it's been a while.
Commander Legends recently.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected. Rhymeford Reindeer. That's not a tongue twister. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, tap target creature an opponent controls. Alright. All in all...
Which is clearly Prancer.
Oh, I was thinking it was, what is it, Sven?
Oh, yeah.
But Sven's an elk.
So is this. It says elk.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a reindeer.
But it says reindeer.
Yeah. What is this is going to bring me back onto the rant for being a jellyfish. He's not. He's a flume. Flume is a creature type.
But they don't want to give just one. They don't want to have just one flume.
Yeah, that's
We want many flump.
Flump Tribal. Flump Tribal. Where is a wizard bringing
You mean Jellyfish Tribal, right?
Man of War wants to...
Yeah, Man of War wants its piece of... Alright, so... The card this time for our Fake or Fable is... Heartflame Duelist. In nice storybook art. Heartflame Slash. Instant Adventurer. Heartflame Slash deals 3 damage to any target. It has instant and sorcery spells you control have lifelink.
Nice.
Alright, cool.
That's
You may.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, I think it's time for... Do you think it's a fake or a fable?
I think it's a...
Card that exists in the card game Magic the Gathering. So, starting with Rod.
Cool. I'm going to say that's just an Elden Ring character.
No, Rod, you're wrong. I'm really sorry you're wrong. You'll find that it's actually a fake character. That is clearly a nameless reference. That's clear. His signature attack, unlimited blade works.
Alright, well, I'm going to have to disagree with both of you and say it's none of those. It's still just made up. It's a fake. And with that, once again, everyone wins. Welcome to the game show where everyone wins.
But I mean, fake technically become its own fairy tale.
I mean, yes, no, it's become its own weird thing.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's beautiful. Very
Oh, the fairy token.
yeah.
Nice.
Ooh. Biblically accurate fairy.
So I'm doing second from the bottom.
Fairy.
Break the spell. Ooh.
Ha! More food.
Held the card. Watch Ruby
Looks
drag
like Hilda.
Helen's unconscious. Felt something not felt. Passion. It's beautiful. Grand Ball guest. More dwarfs with food. No. Human peasant. Celebration. Root Rider Fawn. Oh, she's a cutie. 1 and 1 green. Add 1 green. Tap 1, add 1 of any colour, so a colour fixer.
Oh, nice. There aren't that many of those floating around in creature form.
Ginger Brute.
Oh, reprint!
Food Golem.
It's a reprint. I love it. Gingerbread's great.
Yep.
Disdainful Stroke.
Yeah. Counter target.
Spell with 4 or greater.
Yeah.
One important thing to know with Gingerbread, he's a food type.
He's a food type? I
He's a
thought it was
food-
just a golem.
Nope, food column.
Ah.
A
Ooh.
Greta Sweet Tooth Scourge. Going back to our references of the Gingerbread House.
Yep.
Jonan Apprentice Sorcerer. Each time you may cast an instant or sorcery from the top of your library. Wow.
Ooh.
I like that. Island. Griffin Airy.
Oh, yes. Whenever you gain 3 or more life, spit out a 2/2 flying.
Grasp of Fate.
Yep.
Devouring Sugarmore.
Oh.
These candy monstrosities are wonderful.
Hmm.
I like it how they're not food horrors, they're just straight up horrors.
Fairy Blade Crafter. And you can tell it's a rogue because it's got a dagger.
Oh, yeah.
Cutlass. Twinning Twins. Clearly a reference to the critically acclaimed Tinkerbell's Secret of the Wings. Two fairies sharing wings. 1 and 1 white. Exile target non-token creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning and next turn step. Flying Vigilance Ward 1 for a 4/4 flyer for 4. It's really nice. I like that. And my last card of the pack. Red Cap Gutter Dweller.
Oh, red caps are back.
Okay, Goblin Warrior.
What?
And my Fable.
Hmm?
I suppose you could call them goblins.
The same way you could call a flump for jellyfish. Dawn of Hope.
Ah.
It's some sort of figure standing in the sunrise. Whenever you gain life, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. 3 and 1 white. Create a 1/1
yeah.
white soldier creature token with lifelink.
Is that one of those storybook farewells where they ride off into the sunset and all the friends that they made along the way are Alright, so, put your vote cards down. Do you think it's a fake or a fable? Alright, starting with me. I'm going to say it's a fable. I really didn't want to, but the problem is that judging from the look of it, where you've got all the animals around and they're all looking at the figure walking off into the sunset, there are way too many stories and fables out there where that's exactly what happens. So I'm, against better judgment, I'm going with a fable.
I've done Fable for the same but opposite reasons. To me, it looks like the sunlight is banishing the dark evil creatures, which is just such a, happens all the time.
Tropey.
Oh, evil creatures can't fight sunlight. I think that's just such a strong story element.
Well, like, my brain is so fried right now, all I could think of was Romance Stone from One Piece.
Oh god, Romance Dawn, okay.
Yep. Just right at the beginning.
So, you're saying it's a fake?
Yeah, I mean, although to be fair, One Piece has become its own fable of sorts.
It's still too recent, sorry. Not
Hey.
good enough.
Oh, I'm sorry, are we doing any classic literature?
Yeah. I made that clear. Alright, so this is the last pack. Trent currently is ahead with 1 point.
Ooh.
So this will be the decider to see whether or not we need to crack out the tiebreaker question, or whether or not Trent's the winner.
Alright. So we've got a very disturbing bowl of porridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got the lumpy bowl of porridge.
Alright, so we finally got Talion the Kindly Lord. Well, we already seen this card, haven't we?
Talia?
Talion.
Oh, no.
Yeah?
No.
Well, we haven't seen the extended full art,
No.
which is amazing. A second copy of Leyline of Abundance.
Couldn't even get Leyline of Anticipation.
Talion's Messenger.
I believe that's the one we got last time.
Oh, it's foil.
That's...
One of the face cards, which is the Werefox Bodyguard.
Oh, cool.
So when it's battlefield, exile to one other target non-Fox Were creature until he leaves the battlefield. And then you can sacrifice him for 1 and white to gain 2 life. So, I'm trying to remember what the card was called. It's just a defender card. Young Defender. He enters and saves something from dying.
Oh, there's a few of those. Like the dog. I can't remember.
I love the OG classic Dragon Mantle.
Stop trying to make Dragon Mantle the thing.
Dragon Mantle is a thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of the not for flavor reasons, but for mechanical reasons, it's one of the cornerstone pieces of Magic. Ooh, Dark Tutelage. She reminds me of Liliana Vest for some reason.
It might be.
Ooh, what's a bulb on an enchantment?
It's Bob on an enchantment.
Yeah,
Nice.
at the beginning of your upkeep, reveal top card and put it in your hand. Lose life equal to its mana value.
Oh, cool.
So just a bulb on an enchantment. Ooh, forest. I like the hallway forest looking thing. Kind of reminds me of the Phyrexian forest.
Yeah.
I was going to say it reminds me of Fable Passage.
I was thinking more along the lines of, it reminds me of those fables, like, actually it reminds me of the Phantom Tollbooth.
So, Red Tooth Vanguard. So you can get him back for 2 if you play it, enchantment is the battlefield. Ooh. Graceful Takedown. I believe it's depicted in a moment where Jack, chops up the beanstalk.
Jack fells the dragon.
Jack fells the giant.
No, he fells the dragon.
Jack fells the pancreas.
Yes.
And because obviously in a food related set you need to go back for seconds.
Well played.
And it gets you 2 creatures from your graveyard to your hand. And if you bargain, you can put one that's CMC 4 less into the battlefield. Not bad for 3. I'll pay 3 for that.
And you get 4 or less. Nice.
Unassuming Sage. So clearly this is the witch or, clearly powerful spellcaster who's helping you on your journey, disguised as a peasant.
Oh, the wizened mentor.
Yeah, that's the word. That's what I was looking for. Who gives you the sorcerer's role. So clearly just looking for an apprentice. Everyone in this set... Wow, sorry. Take 2. Man, the economy is doing so shit that even in Eldraine they're looking for new stuff.
They're looking for work.
Yeah, like just all these mentors just giving out roles to new people.
It's all about pointing the finger and making other people something.
I'm not the Wicked
The
Witch.
sorcerer doesn't give sorcerer to himself, he gives it to someone else.
I'm not the Wicked Witch. That frog clearly is the witch. The Wicked Witch.
Kill the witch!
I was a newt. I got better. What's a besotted knight?
Well, they're a knight that's been besotted.
It's past tense sorted. They be sorted.
But,
They were sodded, now they are.
but how does a knight give the royal role to someone? Isn't the knight usually underneath the king?
Yes.
So how does it...
It depends on how you want to take that.
In bad kingdoms, he's usually under the princess.
Again, please, people, try and keep it PG, but yes. If you don't know what we're talking about, go ask your parents.
Oh my god. I love the art of the 2-scale fairies.
I do like it when they do fairies to scale.
And my reaction to when I see flies inside my house.
Well, that's because you didn't say please.
Nah. Moving on.
That was a magic card joke reference.
Still. And we have Red Tooth Genealogist, who also grants the royal role to someone.
Oh, genealogist makes sense.
You're the king, but I don't want to be. Then you're the king.
Well, do you have a brother who could be the king? Maybe. All right. So for the final question.
No, usually the brother's the one that tries to kill you to become king.
Hello. We've got the Virtue of Courage.
The virtue of courage.
So we've got this.
That's a great one to end on.
Yeah. So we've got a 5-cost enchantment which says whenever a source of you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, you may exile that many cards from the top of your library. You may play those cards this turn. And for 1 and a red, instant you can deal 2 damage to any target.
Okay. So,
I think
People-
that's Will,
no.
or at least a Will-looking person.
It's probably a Will-looking person, because Will is,
Very generic red-looking mage.
Oh, you mean Rowan?
Rowan, sorry.
Don't know. I believe her stuff now has brambles all on it. She looks very pointy. Alright, so, for the final point, is it a fake or a fable? Alright, since Trent began in our first round, he can finish us off.
Just like the power of friendship, the virtue of courage comes up in too many stories to ignore it.
Yeah. So is this before or after you pay the troll toll?
The troll toll. Alright. Well, it looks like I have been outvoted because I'm saying it's fake because I can't think of anything. Yes, the virtue of X, Y, Z always shows up in Fables, but I don't think that's enough to carry the card itself.
Kenrith clearly has the power of God and anime on their side.
So, with that, we have Trent gains his last point to put him onto 10. And Rod gains a point as well, which puts him on 9.
Oh.
So it appears that we have a winner of the first ever fake or fable, and that is Trent.
Yay.
So I want to say thank you all for joining me as we opened some packs and we had a little fun talking about the cards and what they're based on if they exist. Trent is our overall winner, but I like to think that the actual winners are the people who play the game and those of you at home. He said very cheesily. But also, I'd like to thank Trent and Rod for taking time out of their busy schedule to come and spend some time opening packs and just having fun with some Magic. So thank you all, and I hope to see everyone again sometime soon.